Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well this morning. It has been crazy this morning. Oh my goodness. I slept in just a little bit and woke up to a thunderstorm, went outside, had Solomon's breakfast, and he did not want to come to me. So here I am, early in the morning, in a thunderstorm, traipsing around, trying to find him, turn around, and he had been following me for most of the park. So got him in, got all the chickens out. I'm getting ready to go do another round up there just to make sure everybody's okay. The Indios are doing great with the other group, so that's a plus. That's a plus. So we're going to do two things here. I'm going to go through all of the political stuff, and then we're going to talk about being prepared and why I think that if you have not prepared your pantry or your freezer or your medical, or you don't have anything, if things were to go down like that, I think it's pretty important for you just to listen to what I have to say. You may not be a prepper, that's fine, but you should be prepared for this regime. So let me get right on into this. We're going to start with the Epstein files. The Republican Congress can go to hell. And everybody talks about them as young women, young ladies. These are little girls. And what happened to these little girls should be punished. The Republican Congress can go to hell. That's how I feel about them. And now Maxwell is going to the Supreme Court. And you know how I feel about the Supreme Court. It's corrupt and it has allowed all of this chaos to happen from the beginning. Okay. The war on Ukraine is escalating. And MAGA is mad at Donald Trump for sending weapons. Okay. I continue to get this crazy stuff about who's weak, who's at fault. Putin is at fault. He continues to attack Ukraine and has since Crimea. Crimea. I don't know why I have such a hard time saying certain words, but anyway, it's his fault. Period. Get over yourselves, MAGA, because let me tell you something. You've already destroyed our democracy, and you've already been mind twisted that we don't need democracy. And in fact, you support sending to Israel, who has a democracy and health care and great educations. And Netanyahu and Trump are okay with genociding Gaza. Trump has already bombed Iran. He bombed the Houthis, which didn't help because they're still doing what they were doing before. There you go. And they lost 2 of their fighter bomb dropping jets or whatever they were. Yeah. So being aligned with Israel makes us a criminal. Being aligned with Putin makes us a criminal country. Period. If you don't get it, I don't know where to go with that. Here's what I don't understand. If you're against Trump for those things, supporting Ukraine, and you're against what else? You're not against cruel and unconstitutional and inhumane behavior to happen to these immigrants and migrants, that they are disappearing off the streets. They're going to go after U.S. citizens. They are. The DOJ is the most corrupt DOJ ever in history. And it's just amazing how, Trump made you all believe that it was the other administration, when in fact, this is bonkers crazy. going after people because they do not think or talk or want to be a part of the MAGA cult. They're going after them. Do you understand that? And then they're hiding the Epstein files, awaiting for Maxwell so that he can pardon her because she'll tell it all. I mean, it's just amazing. Cutting veterans programs, destroying our national forests. Are you okay with that? You know, if you are of the regions that have these wonderful national parks, they are the environment for the wildlife. They're an environment that families can go and see what the history of the country is, as far as what it looked like so many years ago and how it's still thriving in those national parks. And they're going to destroy them for lumber, minerals, and whatever. You're okay with that, right? Okay. But cutting veterans programs, you're definitely okay with that, correct? All right. Stopping programs that will make food, water, and our air safer. Boy, that sounds like a waste of money, doesn't it? It sounds to me like they're culling the herd, period. I've done a video on this. Cutting programs that Americans need to be healthy. Medical, food assistance. What's left? What is left? This is where being prepared is the answer for you and for me. I have been prepping many years. I started off as a couponer prepper, so that way I stocked up very, very quickly, extremely cheap. And I continue to do that, even though I don't coupon like I used to. And I just do sales, deals, digital coupons, and clearance. But let me tell you something very, very important for my household to be prepared if things are to go down like that. Our electric grid, our water grid system, all of that stuff could be shut down. Are you ready if that happens? Can you get to a location if that happens? If transport stops for whatever reason? You know, he keeps saying that gasoline is cheaper. It is no cheaper here by a long shot. Eggs, I show it every week, twice a week. Not cheaper out here. So what are you going to do? Well, you should prepare. If you have a place, a little nook, a little cranny, just to take a tote and fill it with food for 72 hours, or go and order those emergency food preps, that's great. When I prep with foods that I can also feed my animals. So that way, if they are expired or if I need to feed them for the day, I can grab some pasta or some rice. I can grab some chunky soup, vegetable, savory, whatever, throw that together, and I can make a meal for my animals, my dogs. That is important. Chickens can eat anything, so I can make up whatever. I always make certain that I have specific things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you right now what I'm looking at. So I don't know if you can see this or not. It might be backwards. I have no clue. But right now my needs this week, dog and puppy food, big time. Cat litter, big time. Fresh fruits and vegetables so that I can put them in the freezer. I will be doing my stir fry bags again, which means in each freezer bag I put zucchini and onion, peppers, cabbage, whatever it is that I can throw into a stir fry. I make up those bags. So this week I've also got to go through my freezer to make certain that I have the room for that. Grocery sales. Whatever is on sale, that is what I need. Okay? If it's on sale, then I need it. Because if I can't find it at that lower price later, then I needed it now, right? Just saying. Okay, so the things I'll be prepping more for this season is medical. I need pain and first aid. Those things I need to cover a little bit better. I mean, I have a lot, but we've used a lot. You know, the neighbor gets hurt, he comes here. The husband gets hurt, he comes here. I get hurt, you know, whatever, whatever, whatever. Also, what I'm going to be looking for are planting seasonal things for next year. They're going on clearance now, spring and summer. Solar lighting. Now you saw that on my 5 off of 25 at Dollar General, I picked up 4 extra solar lights. I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be picking up those cheap solar lighting. And let me tell you something. I had some cheap solar panels several years ago, and I made a little bulb thing, a little globy thing outside the back door. Those solar lights worked for 4.5 years, and as a matter of fact, I think there's still one working back there. So there you go. Okay. Linen clothing or very light clothing. Ladies and gentlemen, climate change is happening. Weathers are hotter. It's more dangerous. We're seeing flooding. We're seeing these high, humid, hot, crazy times. Get appropriate clothing. What do they wear out in the Middle East, in the deserts? What do they wear? Linen blends and linen clothing. So I'm going to be looking for linen clothing and then very light clothing because I am miserable in the summer. I always have been. I'm a Highland girl. I should have been born in Scotland like my ancestors. And some were Vikings. Just saying. Okay. I'm also going to be looking for sales on vinegar, sugar, and salt. Those are some things that I'm going to stock up a little more on. Now, I have over 100 pounds of sugar on this property, but not here in my sugar bucket. So I need to fill up my sugar bucket and then we're good to go. I want to do a salt bucket. We'll be ready. And also I want to get a few more jugs of vinegar. Now I do know that my husband has another eye appointment pretty soon in the town that has the Rural King. And as you know, that's where I have found my cheapest vinegars. So that's where I'm going to go to get my stock up on vinegar. Now, I'm going to go through all of this. You can't see that, but look, can you see it? I wrote it pretty fast. It's pretty messy. So let's just go ahead. Hold 1 minute. Oops. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start off with water. Water is super important. And the amount of animals you have to think you have to add more water. Okay? Water is important, but there's also ways to save your water. Baby wipes, squirt bottles. Wait a minute, where is it? Where is my squirt bottle? Oh, here it is. This one just happens to have disinfectant for Miss Potty Pants. But a little bottle like this, you could put cleaner in it. You can put bleach in it, mix it with water. You could also do body wash mixed with water. And then that way, in one of those pinches, you have your water and sudsy stuff, and all you have to do is wipe back down. Important. Water saving. So get your water, and then also water collection. How are you going to collect water? You need those systems. Okay, so we're going to start off with dry goods. Mixes or baking needs. Now, I prefer to do mixes that are just add water, like pancake mixes. You see me when they're on sale, I stock up on them. When I have a good deal, I stock up on them so I don't have to buy them all the time. So pancake mix is probably my favorite. All-purpose baking mixes that you just add water or just a couple of ingredients. I keep powdered buttermilk in my refrigerator. I bought them years ago. They're in there and they're fine. So I always keep that on hand just in case I need to add milk to something. such as maybe an all-purpose mix. You catching my drift on this? I also like cookie mixes, cake mixes, brownie mixes, any of those mixes, because I don't have to have baking powder, baking soda, or any of the other needs that you have when you're baking. Just saying. So that's important. Pasta, rice, dried beans, oatmeal, and instant or dehydrated potatoes. Very important to have as your dry goods. Just saying. Okay? Now, canned goods get a little trickier for me. I don't use a lot of canned vegetables or fruit. Okay? In the wintertime, I normally have frozen berries or something like that, but I always have like cherry pie filling, which the best price I know is at Dollar Tree for $1.25 if the price hasn't gone up yet. That's the cheapest pie filling, cherry pie filling I know of, period. Okay, so canned goods, fruits and vegetables, big time. You need to have those things. And also look at the rare vegetables such as beets. Beets are very, very good for you, and in a bad situation, that's going to help you out. So beets, greens, asparagus, of course, sauerkraut, things like that. Those are some of the most important things for your gut health as well. Tough times. You got to add something to your diet you may not like. Tough titty. Okay, so canned goods. Also, you want your whole meal soups, like your Campbell's Chunky soups, your Progresso soups, things like that that have vegetables, starch, meat, and gravy. Because you can put those over pasta, rice, or instant potatoes, and you've got a meal. If you're trying to feed your family and it's an emergency, call it a shepherd's pie. But anyway, also you want to look for meats, your canned meats. Tuna is a big one here. I mean, I can't even keep a stock. I have to hide my stockpile of tuna or it's gone. He eats it right out of the can, which I like. Now, my cat don't eat tuna, but he does eat salmon. So when I find good salmon deals, that's what I buy it for, is for him. And sometimes I have a little stockpile of salmon. And then my husband's like, I can do some salmon patties when I'm out of tuna because I normally make tuna cakes. But anywho, meats. You'll see me find Keystone ground beef or the pork or the chicken. Those are good. But also any of the ones that I find on sale, canned hams, Spam, things like that. I know. But it doesn't bother me to eat those things when I have to. It's about it. Now, if you want to cook your meat that you find on sale and you want to can it, go for that because you're gonna know what's in that jar, right? So there's an idea for you. If you do not like the canned meats and you have that issue, but you can your own meat. Just saying, it's important. Just saying. Pickles and pickled products are very important to have in your pantry. I know that I have cucumbers growing. I've made some refrigerator pickles. I have not canned because it's so hot. I can't do that. So I made sure that I have plenty of pickles in my pantry. When they're on sale for $1.99 or less, I'll buy a jar of pickles. And I'll point that out in my shopping trips. I didn't need them that time, but I pointed out that $1.99 for a big jar of pickles to put in your pantry, that's a good price. Snatch it up. Okay. Spices, herbs, oils, seasonings, however you want to do it. I like mixed seasonings. I like to do that because my husband loves it. That's Stilts. He's trying to turn around. Oils, fats, condiments, herbs, spices, and sauces. Also canned gravies. I know. I'm not a gravy eater. I do my sausage gravy. And I also make a killer turkey gravy. I've made vegetable gravies, and they're really good. I'm just not a gravy eater. Even as a kid, I wasn't. I would put my vegetables on my mashed potatoes. Just saying. Now, don't think I won't eat some Colonel Sanders or Church's mashed potatoes with gravy, because, honey, I will. But gravy is just not one of my things. I'm good at making it. I know how to make it. I know how to make red-eyed sop. But canned gravies are nice to have. Okay, you can do anything with them. Able to make meals from your pantry. When you stock your pantry and you go through it, you should be able to make a balanced meal on the fly. Okay? Some of the things I didn't mention: honey, peanut butter, maple syrup, pancake syrup. Doesn't matter. It'll last a long time. It will. Um, if you get like brownie mixes, make sure you have, you know, extra chocolate chips to put in them or something. I am getting ready to make some chocolate chip cookies sometime today when I get a chance. I don't know when, but I'm going to make that because we have a lot of cookie mixes and we have nothing sweet in this house. We have devoured everything sweet in this house. I think there's one Rice Krispie treat left. Um, and I think that's it. I don't even think there's a cookie left in this house. So I'm going to make some cookies today just to have something sweet. So today I'm also going to be working with apples. I need to get some frozen. I need to do some stir fry bags with the vegetables that I have in the refrigerator now in order to go to the grocery store Friday and Saturdays to pick up more fresh fruits and vegetables. And as they go up, I haven't seen my peppers in a while. I still haven't gotten in there because it's so wet. So with the politics of today, prepping is probably at its highest need level in your household. And even if things aren't that bad, it's nice if you live in a snowy area to have everything you need in order to stay home and not have to deal with that. If the electric goes down, you've got canned goods. Do you have some place to cook if the electric goes out? Do you have a gas stove? Do you have a place outside? Do you have a grill? You got all that stuff? All right. Y'all have a great day. Hugs from a distance. I've got to get going. I've got so much to do today. Bye, y'all. Hugs from a distance.